Okay, well, it's important that we take a few minutes to kind of review the whole business of the learning report and what what you're going to see when you look at the feedback on your learning reports. So let's just take a quick look through some of this. Okay, now it's based, of course, on the ABCs of all good technical work and writing. And when we look at your learning report, it's going to be coming as part of an email. And that means that the abstract is really those parts of the email that include the complete subject line and the introductory sentences. Now, we've mentioned that the complete subject line needs to tell the audience exactly what is in the email. That's maybe objective 26 and a review of resumes, whatever it happens to be. Okay, let's continue. In the body, for most people who are reporting what has been going on in the classroom, we would like you to have some evidence of what you did. Well, when you got up to write on the whiteboard, what did you write? Or when you asked a question, what was the question that you asked? And when you took initiative, you got up and you did something. What was it specifically? So it's important that that this part of the body contain real evidence. Who did you watch and what did you hear? Well, I heard my colleague say. Okay, so we have to be as specific as we can in the body. Well, the conclusion has a function in these reports, and it is placed, of course, at the end, and it's meant to help out your audience, the people reading your work. Perhaps it's a journey person, a supervisor, an engineer, a busy person who can look at the last sentence in your email body and say, yes, you're telling me what you wrote above this sentence, and I can tell what's above this sentence from what you wrote in the last sentence. So that's the test of a good conclusion. We're always trying to take care of the audience, and we've already mentioned that we take care of the audience by the format that we use when we're sending email. A complete subject line, an introductory sentence that tells the reader, what's coming next so that they can, be prepared to read the rest of the email. And we mentioned before the conclusion, which is a single sentence that for a busy person will tell them, what was in that email. Taking care of the audience. We've looked at the idea of businesslike, and we're going to be specific when we say businesslike. That's the errors of spelling and grammar, which, as you can see, show up to someone reading your email as words that are underlined in red and blue. Well, they have to be removed because that just sort of stands out like a sore thumb. This is the errors I make in my spelling and my grammar. And I'm not able to correct them because it's too much work for me to, right click and correct. So it's not a very good thing. So we want to make sure we take care of all of those red and blue underlined words. Your audience really appreciates if they can have less words to read instead of more. So this is what it means to be concise. You're taking care of your audience and you're saying, I could tell my story, which is with as many words as you see on the right in that email, or a little bit of care, I can probably cut it down to the number of words you see on the left. And right away, the audience understands that you're taking care of them because it's much easier to read less words than more words. There's the look close-up example. You just have to ask yourself, which story would you be reading first? And I think I'd pick the one on the left. Well, that's it. Those are the ABCs, and if we take care of all of those, then you won't have to, do a second shot or a third shot at the learning reports.